Reese in here. I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice.
Lead pass to Tim Hill. One alive. Whoa! Gary Payton with a lob ahead to Kemp.
Oh! It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
Chalmers. Oh!
Jabari Davis, Dunks and Discourse podcast. He's on Twitter at Jabari Davis NBA. My man, how you doing?
Oh, man, I'm great. You know, I appreciate you having me again.
No problem, man. Anytime. I know this is our third retro room, I think.
At least, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're right.
Yeah. Listen, man, I think you might have the most guest appearances on the show.
I'm truly honored. You know, I don't blow smoke, and before the show, that's why I said it. You know, you put out a great product, and it's an honor to be a part of it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. As I said, you can follow Jabari at Jabari Davis NBA, Dunks and Discourse podcast. You can find it anywhere, right? Apple,
Spotify, anywhere you need it. Google Music, all of that.
All right. As well, you can also find the Retro Room on the Balls Life Podcast Network, which you can find on SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You can follow me, the host, at Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, the letter J, CRUZ. So I got Jabari here for a very special episode. I know we have the All-Star game coming up in March if things go well. They're planning an All-Star game for March 7th in Atlanta. So I figured I haven't done a All-Star centric show here on Retro Room. So I figured I'd give Jabari a call. We get together. We knock out some All-Star game moments and All-Star Saturday joints. So I'm excited, man.
No, without a doubt. And it's funny because we obviously we went back and forth on this one, and kind of planned it. It was one of those where kind of what you said, like once they officially announced that they were going to do one, you kind of had to.
Also want to shout out my people at Red Bull. Thank you for this nice fridge behind me. So I can't forget them, Red Bull. Thank you, man. Appreciate the love and support. So Jabari, right out the gate, man, let's get started. So are you more of an All-Star Saturday fan or more All-Star Sunday game fan?
You know, it's funny. The older I get, the less appreciation I have, for the All-Star game. Now, don't get me wrong. Last year was fantastic, and I wondered when they started announcing all the different, basically like that it was going to be a tribute, and that they're going to round, average out the score, however they did it. It ended up being great. So like even though I doubted it, it ended up being great. But that being said, like I said, the older I get, the more I think I do have more of an appreciation for All-Star Saturday.
I think it, correct me if I'm wrong. I think back in the day, there was more of an appreciation for the All-Star game. I think the players really played to win. It's like, it just bragging rights, whatever. Now it's more like it's more cool. It's calm. It's just more like, let's get the shit over with. I pick my best friends. We rock out. We scored 200 points, and we back at the regular season a week later. Back in the day, it's like Jordan against Karl Malone and Barkley Malone, and Jordan against Magic. Is like, no, I'm going to bust your ass, and I'm going to win this game. So for the game aspect, I think it meant more back then than it is now. The All-Star Saturday, as much as they try to say the dunk contest is back, then like 5 years later, we're back, and it's like you have 4 different All-Star dunk contests, and it's not that great. Then we say, oh, it's back again. The 3-point shootout has been, I think, the real story of the All-Star Saturday the last couple of years. I could do without whatever else they do. I think the skills challenge is cool. Challenge. I think that's it, right? Skills, 3-point, and dunk contest now, right?
I believe so. Yeah, they like. I don't remember them doing the thing where they add in the WNBA player where they're doing the half court shot and whatnot. I don't think they did that the last couple of years, or at least not last year.
I do want to give you a heads up that whenever we mention some All-Star dunk moments or game moments, I got some video footage.
Nice.
We'll talk about it during that point. What are some of your best All-Star Saturday moments that you remember?
Man, okay. Let me try to just run through a few of them. MJ versus Neek in '88. I'm in the boat that I thought Neek won that dunk contest, and it's funny enough, MJ never gives it up with with stuff like that. And it's funny when I was kind of looking up some of the old stuff so I can give you the right years and stuff. I found a little clip where Jordan was pretty much acknowledging that he felt like maybe Neek was robbed. So for me, that stands out. Of course, the battle between Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. What was that? 3 years ago now? 4 years ago now?
No, that's 5 now. That's 5.
That's 5. Okay, well, hey, I'm getting older by the second. No, but that's one. But my number one for B, truth be told, is Bird going in the locker room with his shooting jacket on, looking around, waiting for everybody to say, what's up, Larry? And only to say, I'm just looking for who's going to come in second. That's gangster right there.
There you go.
What about you?
I think for me, with some all-star moments, I'm trying to load up this video for you because you mentioned Larry Bird, so I wasn't going to keep on going without showing the Bird video.
Oh, man.
I think that's classic. So I think I would assume most won't even remember that, but they should.
They should.
Let me get back to it. There we go.
It's the same year where, like he leaves on the jacket. Doesn't even come out the jacket for the contest.
I mean, I don't recall if Larry Bird right now is the best three-point shooter in the league at that point, too. So you know how sometimes you get the best shooters and some guys, you get guys who just kind of catch fire and they're in the three-point contest. So for him to do that with the jacket on, hand raising, like I got this one and we're good, and then gets the victory, I think is one of the most iconic moments we had.
No, without a doubt. And what's funny, it's funny because you see folks that didn't necessarily see the game back then, and I get it because I unfortunately didn't get to watch Wilt. I didn't get to watch, early Kareem. I didn't get to watch, Bill Russell, whatnot. But you see these folks that they'll point at, oh, well, Larry Bird only shot this, percentage, not realizing that the three-pointer wasn't even brought into the NBA until his rookie season. So it's while his percentage might not look great, he was that dead-eye guy that you did not want to, you certainly didn't want him with the ball in his hands at the end of the game.
So are you one of those people that, as I pull this up right now, which I'm going to show you in a second, are you more of the fan that thinks both Dominique Wilkins and Aaron Gordon got robbed in the dunk contest, where it should have been Dominique, it should have been Aaron Gordon as the victorious winners, or not?
You know what's unfortunate? I'm over the free throw line dunk, so that in itself was the reason why I thought Aaron Gordon should have won. Like back in '88, yeah, that was still wild. Like when Mike was doing that, of course, it's like, yo, what? Like this is crazy. Look, and plus he styled it out, kicked the legs out and flare, and it was great, all of that. But by the time Zach LaVine did it, and while, yes, it looked incredible, it's fantastic, I'm not taking anything away, I was kind of over it. So I was more impressed by what Aaron Gordon did in this contest. And that's actually not to take anything away from the other dunks that Zach did, because, he did it, he won it, he earned it, all of that good stuff. But for me, if I was a bet man, I would have bet on Aaron Gordon for this contest. What about you? Were you in disagreement on that?
I recently saw this last week. With my boy, and I'm like, oh, so you feel Aaron Gordon got jerked? Well, listen, if you feel that way, I'm not gonna disagree with you, but I'm like, you had Zach LaVine do in between the leg to cap it off from the foul line. Like who?
It's crazy. I
know who does that, and like that still can't be done. And it's like, yeah, Jordan did from the foul line like this, but this guy did it between the legs, like. I still can't figure out what made people feel like Aaron Gordon got jerked. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't the mascot dunk. It was the cradle, under the cradle dunk. That's the one where I was like, yo, yes, I agree. This dunk is 100% incredible. I'm not taking anything away from it. But the one where Gordon goes under his legs from it's almost like a seated position. That's just that was just wild to me. Yeah, man. I can't hate on Zach.
This one.
No, not that one. Not that one. It's one where he comes in from the side and then just goes under his own leg and then goes on top.
Oh, with the mascot. The mascot one?
Wait, was that the mascot dunk? Am I tripping?
I think so. This might have been it.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Jumps over the mascot. And I recognize he's 6'8", whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's still incredible, man. It's still incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Like it's wild. That was a great contest. I'm not gonna. I won't take anything away from Zach. That was great.
They were both getting 50s, and I think it came down to the one I just showed with the cradle. He goes like this, and he goes like this, and like I think at that point it's like if I'm keep getting 50s, I may not have nothing else to do. Like I thought it would be a wrap right now. Zach LaVine's like, keep going. I could jump in the foul line. I could go behind the basket, do this. I mean, I think Gordon got jerked more last year. Than 2016. Now, when it comes to Dominique and Jordan, I think Jordan has said, listen, I think Dominique should have won that. Do you feel Dominique should have won 88?
I do feel he should have won 88 because like this is the thing. By the time we got to 88 with Jordan, especially being in 88, he wasn't gonna lose. Like they were gonna drop a 50 no matter what down the stretch. And I don't remember if it was his second to last. I think it was the second to last dunk where I was like, come on, man, that wasn't a 50. I know it's Jordan and I know we love him and everything, but that wasn't a 50 if you're comparing it to to the other ones. Either way, man. Either way, the reason why these conversations are so much fun for me is because like there's no right or wrong answer. Like there's people that are going to be watching this saying that guy's an idiot. Don't have him on for a fourth time. Why the hell did he make it a third time? And then just like there's other people that are going to say, yeah, exactly. I knew that. And that's what makes these barbershop type conversations so much fun.
But it's crazy. They always show the dunk that, and I didn't know this until I saw it. The one that he did for the foul line, Jordan. I didn't know that he missed the first one.
Yeah, because I mean, in a highlight package, they're not gonna show the misses, and they definitely not gonna show it all night. That dude, yeah. Hey, okay. So here's the thing: if you want to talk about just in-game dunkers, yes, I know. Yeah, Vince is incredible, and you can throw out a lot of names. It wasn't too many that were harder for in-game dunks than Neek. Like I really feel like I know our generation shows the love, but I feel like the younger generation doesn't necessarily know how incredible Neek was.
No, so yeah, I think for me, 88 dunk contest, 2016. I think the one dunk contest we're missing is 2000. With Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady. You had Steve Francis in there. I mean, as far as a great dunk contest from the first round, second round to the finals, all young, all in their prime, and three of the most prolific people at that point in time is in one dunk contest. So what do you make of 2000 dunk contests?
You know what sucks for everybody else in that contest? That Vince Carter was in that contest. Because like you're right. Like that was an incredible field. And the entire contest was great. But I only remember Vince. Like, I only remember Vince because they're, again, I can appreciate, look, they're all just running and jumping as they always have, but certain guys along the way with, take that design and change it a little bit. Vince did that, man. Vince did that. Like the moment Vince, like on his first dunk, I was like, okay, we're done here. But by the second dunk, everybody was watching that was like, well, shit, man, we may as well go ahead and go home. Right there, it's over. It's over. Right?
It's over. It's over. And you know what? I feel bad for Jerry Stackhouse because he had to be the one to dunk after Vince. I'm like,
oh man.
No matter what Jerry Stackhouse did, it was like the crowd wasn't into it. They're all loving Vince Carter. I'm like, damn, Stackhouse, you got the bad rap, bro.
That's like hooking up with Denzel's ex. Good luck. Good luck with that, bro.
What else I mentioned? There's as we talk about dunkers and top dunk contest dunkers, I think there's the one contest I like 87. I think Jordan did better in 87 than 88.
Yeah.
Obviously, when they put everything in slow motion, it looks so beautiful, so like elegant, and in real time, like, oh, it's just a regular windmill. When you slow that shit up, there's like a lot of posters were created out of those 87, 88 dunks.
Oh yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, the poster, the one Michael Jordan poster I had, because remember, keep in mind, I was a hater. Like I was a Lakers fan. I was hating because he ended us in 90. He ended us in 91, and we didn't get back for a minute. But the one I had was the 87 dunk with the very first, that kicked the legs out. I mean, Mike was so damn good. You just can't deny it. Even like this is the thing. Even being a hater, it's not like I was ever saying, "Yeah, come fly."
Look at that.
Come fly with me. It's not like I was saying, "Yo, that's not incredible." I was just mad at breakfast.
And see, that looks today, that's a regular dunk. But I think just the flair he brought is like, come on, man.
Mike had a magic. Honestly, there was like it was majestic. Like even though, yes, you're right. Guys, right now, like high schoolers drew that dunk now, which is always gonna be crazy to me. Zion did that dunk, but it looked a little bit different with Mike. Just looked a little bit different.
So, what are some of the dunk contest dunkers that don't get talked about enough? The winners that are underrated. We always mention Michael. We mentioned Dominique, Vince, Kobe's in the conversation. Who are some of the dunkers, I would say, win or loss, that don't get talked about enough?
You know, honestly, the name that you threw out before the show was one of the two that I had, beforehand. I think Jay Rich is absolutely one of those guys. Now, yes, he had that one silly dunk contest where it's not his fault. It was just the framing of the contest where they had him spinning the wheel and like recreating dunks. That was the dumbest thing of all time. Dumbest thing of all time. It's like, first of all, like you're going to make him do 1 foot, dunk when he's a 2 foot jumper. Okay. That just sounds silly. Anyhow, Jay Rich, but Nate Robinson, man, you know what? I was gonna mess around and say R.I.P. He woke up. So Nate Robinson.
That's my guy. That's my guy, Nate, man.
I got love for him. I got love for him, man.
Yeah.
That hurt my heart, dog. That hurt my heart for real.
Yeah. Well, aside from that, 3-time dunk contest winner. I had to remind my friend, Nate Robinson won 3 times. He told me that, Iguodala should have won in 06.
I mean, maybe, but either way, he got all 3.
Exactly. Hey, for my Knicks, we won something, right?
Hey,
win something.
You got a ring that day.
If you weren't sending any of my Knicks to the All-Star game, we were going to send our dunker, our Nate Robinson guy, and we would go home to the Garden with that trophy. So I'm good with that.
That's what's up.
Let me see. What are some of the best starting fives you've seen at the All-Star game?
All right, so I had to look these back up because I don't year by year.
Yeah, I know.
Some of the best starting fives, all right, so I'll acknowledge these are my favorites.
Okay.
That's how that's really the answer on all these. But 07, the West had Kobe. Now, and keep in mind, these are all in their prime. Kobe, Duncan, KG, T-Mac, and Dirk. It's man, that's a squad. That's a squad. You want me to run through them, or you want to just do them individually and go?
You could run through them, and then whatever you don't mention, I might have a few here on the side.
I got you. Okay, 96 East. That's my second favorite. Penny, Grant Hill. Penny and Grant Hill back before the injuries. Penny, Grant Hill, MJ, Pippen, and Shaq. That's
beautiful.
Let's see. Who else do we have? 09 East. KG, Dwight, AI, LeBron, and D Wade. 91 West. Magic, Kevin Johnson, who doesn't get mentioned enough. I know he has some off the court situation. I don't know what the result of that was, but he doesn't get mentioned enough when we talk about great guards from the 90s. But they have Magic, KJ. I got to throw him in there. He's on the team. Karl Malone, Smolin, and the Admiral. I mean, really, I mean, they're all-star teams. So, of course, like any name, any year you throw out there is wow. What about you?
The few I had, you did mention 91 West. You did mention 96 East. There is a 2013 Western Conference, Kobe, Durant, Blake Griffin, Dwight, and Chris Paul. There is a 2012 Eastern Conference, Carmelo, Dwight, LeBron, Derrick Rose, D Wade.
Man, it's hard to beat.
Obviously, I'm going to mention most of the current ones, not no 1965 shit.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect, but I don't know those guys as well.
I got 09 East, KG, Dwight, AI, LeBron, Dwayne Wade.
I had that one. Yep.
You mentioned 07 Western Conference already, and I would say number the 2004 Western Conference, Kobe, Duncan, Steve Francis, Kevin Garnett, Yao Ming.
Hey, there it is. 05 was no joke either. 05 was Duncan, Kobe, KG, T-Mac, and Yao. Because T-Mac had come over from Orlando.
That is tough, man. Even I'm looking right now, 93 West, Barkley, Clyde, Karl Malone, David Robinson, John Stockton.
Ooh.
Ooh, 90 Eastern
wait.
Conference. What?
Oh,
Go ahead.
it was by vote. So yeah, Robinson, D-Rob made it over Hakeem. That's interesting.
That's great. Yeah, in 93. Wow.
Yep.
I also had 1990 Eastern Conference. Larry Bird, Barkley, Ewing, Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas.
Ooh.
That's throwback right there.
That's my childhood right there.
That's
childhood.
throwback.
Yeah.
That is throwback right there. What else we got here? So, which one do you think is the greatest All-Star game? Or for you, what is your favorite All-Star game?
I got you. Okay. I got a few, but for me, the nostalgic old man in me is 92 when Magic came back. Now, for context, for anybody that doesn't know, Magic was forced to retire because he had contracted the HIV virus the year before. There was so much uncertainty with it. Obviously, now it's obviously something that we know, folks live with and thrive. They thrive with. Magic Johnson does. But back then, it was truly thought of as like a death sentence. So he retired abruptly. He gets voted into the 92 all-star teams, starts for the, if I'm not mistaken, started for the West, but it really comes down to the final moment. He's got a final shot at the very end. It's a clear out. If I'm not mistaken, it was Zeke guarding him, pulls up a little fadeaway three when it obviously Magic wasn't like a 3-point shooter to begin with. And it's the most meaningful. Yeah, that there it is. That little push shot. But beyond that moment, other games that stand out. Let me see. That all the next generation guys that were still young pups in '98. You remember that, and that's going to come up later. The particular game where everybody wore their own jerseys. So yeah, that one's dope for me. 01 will always stand out because of that comeback down the stretch. The comeback that AI, I think he had like 16 in the fourth or something like that. I'm a sucker for it, any type of AI highlights. Let's see, maybe one more here. You know what? I got two more for you. 97, but not necessarily because of the game, but because that was the day. That was the day when the NBA dropped their greatest 50 list.
True.
So at the 97 one. But the last and not least is 03. It's the goodbye to Mike. The game went to overtime, so it was actually a fun game. But it's Mike's goodbye, so that's always going to be up there.
I think this 01 that we're watching.
Yep, Marbury was
Marbury. Marbury was tough, man. He had two big threes, I think, at that point in time. Kobe came down, and then he tried to win the game, and I think they were down by 25, something like that. 20
something like that. Yeah, Kobe ends up making 2 free throws and sending it in overtime. Then then the West won. But yeah, man, this was a great game.
I mean, just by looking at just the kind of talent that's on this roster on both teams, man, like it just pretty much all Hall of Famers. I think 90% are Hall of Famers.
Yeah, just about.
I think as far as All-Star games, I think 01 is up there. I think today is the actual anniversary for 03. In Atlanta.
Nice.
I like 98. I think just the matchup between Kobe and Mike. Just that moment alone, the lob to Garnett and all that. Come on, it's the Garden.
Yeah.
Other games. So I got 98, 01, 03. 92, I agree. And I like 93 though. I like 93 in Utah. I like that game.
Okay. By the way, that lob from KG to Kobe, that's literally one of my favorite moments ever in NBA history, and it came in an All-Star game.
Wow.
Yep.
Best All-Star jerseys.
Oh, I had fun with this one. Okay, so let's see. All right, I already mentioned one of them. 98, where they wear their own jerseys. 95 with the cactus on it. Do you remember that game?
Phoenix.
It was in Phoenix. It's the game that Shaq ends David Robinson on the break. Like he blocks the shot, they go down, and it's like a semi-transition, and it's off the left-hand wing. Shaq just cocks it back on him, and it just destroys him. So it was so nasty. Mike got up and gave him the Omega 5. Like it was a moment.
Right.
But as you're loading that, I can keep going, I guess. um,
You
96,
got it.
96 right afterwards. Very similar to the Cactus jersey, but they were teal and white. And what's interesting is I don't even like teal, but these jerseys all they stand out. 2012, where they went with the darker red and blue, for each one. And then 1982, because it's a classic, man. Like I think I ran with the same ones from like 82 to 85, but 82 with the stars like around the bands, and then on the sport as well. Those always stand out for me.
So you mentioned these, right? 2012 in Orlando.
Oh yeah. Oh
All
yeah.
right.
I had
think the West ones.
Oh yeah.
These weren't bad 2014, but I'm more of a fan of the one that say East and West. I think for me, if you ask me, Rand, what's the Mount Rushmore of All-Star uniforms? I'm gonna tell you, like these right here.
Yes, sir.
03, up there. I would go with this is my number one. I think 1996 All-Star Game has the best uniforms of all time.
Oh yeah.
And I think number, as you mentioned, the Cactus one's fire. 2 fire.
Man.
I like these right here.
You got me wanting to go. You got me wanting to go buy one of those Cactus jerseys.
These right here, and of course, the OG. I gotta pay respect to the OGs right here. So those would be my top 4: 85 through 90, 91 through 94, 95, and 96. So, and I think what's crazy is that 96 All-Star Game in general. Jordan comes back.
Yep.
We're in San Antonio. David Robinson's the defending MVP. I think from a culture, from a sneaker standpoint, that game had a lot of dope kicks all in one game. That is like that could still be unmatched to this day. Jordan with the Carolina White and Blues, Sean Kemp with the Kamikazes, Elijah Wan got his own joints, David Robinson got his own kicks. And again, All-Star Game is always to show out of what you got on, your brand, but just the way the colors, I love teal, aqua. That's my favorite color. So I'm biased.
Okay.
So when I see that, and you have aqua, the white, the pink, the yellow, and it's like that's tough to beat. That's tough to beat.
If I'm not mistaken, Pippen had his by then as well. Did his come in 98? That might have been 98.
His what? The kicks?
Yeah. The first one. But you know what?
I think it had to be 96. The airs. Yeah,
I feel like it was, but either way, you're right, man. Look, I don't spend money on really anything these days, but going back and buying some of the old kicks, I do. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. it can be dangerous. Yeah, and I clearly don't even hoop anymore, but still got to rock them.
I think also a moment that people tend to forget is that when Jordan retires, they're looking at Pippen like, are you going to carry the load? Are you going to take the Bulls to the finals and everything? And they had the All-Star Game in Minnesota that following year. He wore the red Nikes. Yeah. He's the All-Star Game MVP. He's third in MVP voting for the regular season. Like, that's one year. That 94 Pippen year is a year that should be talked about more, but doesn't, and I don't know why.
I was actually happy that The Last Dance kind of addressed that and at least showed that they didn't just fall off the face of the earth or whatever. But no, you're right. And perhaps it's that Pippen isn't the most beloved, and that's not a criticism of him. I'm saying just matter of factly, he's not the most beloved like within the media and whatnot, outside of Chicago media. At times that can play into it. It's kind of like how, nobody talks about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and we just accept that, oh yeah, the media didn't like him. So nobody really talks about, but to Pippen and whatnot, that year was special. Also, who doesn't get enough, credit, for that time is Tony Kukoc, because he essentially turned into Pippen's Pippen, for that run.
Yeah, and Kukoc was the bad man, man. He saved Chicago in that playoff series against the Knicks. That game, not the series, but the game. And it's then we know the story, 3 rings, and they get along. But I think that Pippen 94 year, and in Minnesota does not get talked about. I think the anniversary is coming up pretty soon, but that game was pretty good too. That Kenny A All-Star game, Dominique was in that game. Pippen, Mark Price, a bunch of three Knicks, Ewing, Oakley, and Starks was in that game.
Okay, three Knicks. Hey, look, three Knicks in the All-Star game. I absolutely know why, and that's not even shade, but I get it. You know, that's probably why '98 stands out for me so much. Beyond being nostalgic, or whatever. The Lakers have four players on that team, which is always gonna be crazy to me.
4 Lakers: Shaq, Kobe, Eddie Jones, Van Exel.
Yes, sir.
Crazy.
Yep.
And then I think other times we have four players from one team. Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Atlanta?
Atlanta did. I think you may be right.
Horford, T. Korver, and Millsap.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, which is wild. But no disrespect to that Hawks squad.
No. Who are some players that surprised you that made an All-Star game? Not saying oh man, he's whack, but I'm surprised he made it. But it's again, it's an All-Star game, but some players, you know what, kind of one-hit wonders here and there. Like who surprised you? Like they had one good year and they made an All-Star team and never made one again.
I got one for you that came to mind immediately, and it sucks because this guy was a fine player. He was completely fine. But it's the guy that everybody thinks of, or at least that's our age. It's Jamal McGlure, man. Jamal McGlure made that All-Star team, that random All-Star team when the East was just real, down bad. And was it like 96? I'll look it up as we go. But that
Jamal
was
McGlure?
Yeah.
I think that was 04 in LA.
Oh my goodness.
I think so. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was 04.
Hold on, and I'm sure you're right in terms of but it's just crazy to me that he made it. And all respect in the world to Jamal McGlure. Shout out to him if he or anybody he loves watches this. It's no disrespect. It's just still a surprise. Right. What about you?
Oh man, there's a few. Korver's one of them. Like I didn't think I ever see Kyle Korver in the All-Star game, just from a 3-point specialist, and that's it. Tyrone Hill made one.
He did make one. I forgot about that. You were right about 04, by the way.
Thank you.
And he won the East. Damn.
Dale Davis made one. You look at Dale Davis like, oh, you solid, but
All-Star?
All-Star game? Like,
there may, it's my guy, but 10 years from now, there may be folks saying D'Lo made one.
But he wasn't selected. He was like an injury replacement, right?
I mean, hey, but he made if you're on that court. But no, you're right. He was not selected. He was an injury replacement.
Wally Zerbiak is always a name that I'm like, Zerbiak All-Star, man. He was 16, 17 a game, but All-Star?
He got voted in, right? He had to have been.
No, I think he was, by the coaches off the bench and everything. So
I can see. Oh, wait, was Flip Saunders, rest in peace? Was he the coach of that All-Star team that he made? It makes me wonder.
Well, that was probably 02.
Let me see.
So the coaches might have been. So I know, like, who was good in 02 at the time? Probably LA, probably Boston at that time.
I mean,
San Antonio was good.
It was 02. I mean, Minnesota was still good. They made it to conference finals in 04. That was KG year. Let's see. What year was it?
Yeah, I don't know who was coaching in 02.
And
I don't remember that.
It was 02.
Who was coaching?
Hold on, I got you.
So as you're looking at that, again, follow Jabari Davis NBA, Dunks and Discourse podcast. Find this podcast on SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Retro Room. Talk about some All-Star game, All-Star Saturday moments as we prepare for the game next month. Who's your coach?
Oh, wait, no, that's Eastern Conference. Okay, it was Byron Scott. Flip, by the way, was the coach in 06 because I remember him being an All-Star coach at one point. As crazy as that sounds, being that he coached me.
Wow, Byron Scott's right. New Jersey Nets. So at that time, it had to be the Lakers, right? Phil Jackson probably was the coach,
You would think so.
Greg Pop.
Yeah, maybe Pop. 02, maybe Pop. Because I don't think the Lakers were the top seed in 2000, 2001. By 02, it probably was Pop.
Let me see. This is when I can't find something off the top of my head, I'm like, I gotta find out who's coaching. Here we go. Who's coaching? They should tell. Don Nelson. Wow.
Yes. Okay. Well,
the Mavericks. The Mavericks.
What's wrong? That's that's Dirk, and was that like Nash's second to last year there?
That was Dirk, Nash, Michael Finley.
Mm-hmm. Was the young boy that liked to smoke? What's his
Josh
name?
Howard?
Yeah, was he there by then? Was he there at that point?
No, not yet. I think this is where they had Van Exel on the roster. Yeah, this when they lost in the conference semis to Sacramento. Wow, Don Nelson. Also, Sacramento is good that year too with Rick Adelman. Surprised about that.
Oh, there we go.
That's
yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, and Josh Howard came next year, 03. Okay.
Wow.
Man, I do remember those squads. Those were some fun teams. Fun teams to beat.
So I got Tyrone Hill, I got Dale Davis, I got Wally Zerbiak, Kyle Korver, you got Jamal McGlure.
Well, I mean, like, all right. Normally I say no disrespect. I'll be straight up. Kyle Korver is the biggest surprise. Like, after say all of these, and there's going to be somebody that's like, hey, well, he shot 46% from the three. Shut up. The fact that you have to say that is why it's the biggest surprise.
I got a big question for you.
All right.
I'm going to type it right here, right now. Who are some players who you felt should have made an all-star team but never did?
Oh man, you're throwing me on the spot. I would need I would need to look at a list of guys that didn't make it. I could be a homer and say somebody like Robert Horry, somebody like that, but he did not deserve. But much like Kyle Korver didn't deserve to make it. Robert Horry wouldn't have deserved to make it. I'm trying to think who was did Andre Miller ever make it?
I would say no.
Andre Miller,
no.
If it's a range in terms of skill, Andre Miller's probably the top side of the skill, that maybe wasn't quite an all-star, but had all-star type performances at times.
Mm-hmm. I would say, I guess we can go one for one. You got Andre Miller. I will go with. There's a few of them. I will go with. I would say Jamal Crawford should have made at least one of them.
Okay.
The multiple time 6-man a year winner, like can't make one roster.
Hey, shout out to JC. Especially given the fact that what did he win? Three or four of those 6-man a year situations.
I think so. Yeah.
I actually, this isn't being a homer. I actually do believe that he was good enough to make it. Lamar Odom was absolutely an all-star talent and absolutely had all-star performances at times, but just never quite made it. Never quite put it together. I
got one for you. Mike Bibby.
Okay, I see you, Mike. I mean, hey, Bibby was so tough in like 02, 03, 04. Like Bibby was tough.
And that would have been the year. 02, 03, 04 had to be the year.
Mm-hmm. No, without a doubt. Hey, shout out to Jalen Rose. As I pulled up a list of guys that never made it. Jalen, he's the butt of jokes, and he's got the coldest hairline and hair game of anybody that's out. But Jalen could go, man. There, he has several years where if you go back, you dig in the crates a little bit and look, he was putting up actual numbers and could actually do this thing. So that'll be my next guy.
Oh man, I think a guy go a little way back. I think a guy like Rod Strickland.
Okay,
could have been an all-star.
Not mad at it.
Never made it.
Rod was cold, man. Rod was cold. Like it's funny because when we talk about great point guards and whatnot, and I recognize, you didn't get the ring or whatever, but like it wasn't like Rod played 40 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like I never really see him in these conversations, and he doesn't have to be top 5 or top 10 even. But you know what I'm saying? When we're just having general conversations about great guards, I don't feel like he's brought up enough. Byron
Hunter,
Scott's my next one too, by the way.
Byron Scott.
Yeah, say what you want about his coaching, which there's plenty to say. But as a player on that wing and on the wing, man, that was a bad man for a lot of years.
I think Lance Stevenson had that 1 year that we thought he was gonna make the All-Star team. Like the Indiana was really good that 1 year, and he was coming off the bench, and we're like, yeah, I think Lance might pull this off, and just didn't make the cut. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
If that would have been a 1 year, Lance would have made it, but like he was doing a lot of work that year too.
Man, the thing of it is, it's funny how like certain situations are just like perfect for a player. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, yes, the same can be said for everybody. Like, your situation can sometimes determine your productivity, but in specific, like specifically to Lance, that Indiana situation, it really, in retrospect, especially here on Retro Room, was the perfect situation for him. And I really do wish that whatever the reason was for him to leave, I really wish they had been able to keep that going, because I think Lance would still be in the league right now if had he stayed in Indiana.
Well, I know Lance, and I think he should still be the NBA. Hopefully, he'll get that nod at some point in time, especially with all this COVID thing going on and people are losing players to the madness. I think he's gonna do some overseas stuff or the G League. One of those two, I think. But I think he should be back in the league at some point in time soon.
I hope for his sake that he is. There's too much game there, to pass on it.
Who are some of the All-Star Game MVPs that you might not have agreed with? Because obviously, when it comes to the big names, LeBron, it's gonna be Wade, it's gonna be Kobe. But do you feel like a guy really showed out and was like they gave it to somebody else instead?
Well, I'm gonna tell the truth. I can't remember which year it was. There was a year where Mike got it where I felt like Kobe should have, and specifically I felt like, and they actually acknowledged it. The Western Conference players kind of iced him out because they felt like he was trying to steal Mike's moment. But I don't remember which year that was, but that's the one that stands out. What about you? I don't really get worked up about the All-Star Game MVP. So like I haven't really felt passionately, except for the one where I was just being home.
Then what about some people who won the award that you were surprised that won an All-Star Game MVP?
The year, okay. So to be clear, I keep on bringing him up. It's not just because that was my dude. I mean, the dude played 20 years and he won 4 or 5 All-Star Game MVPs. But the year where they split it between Shaq and Kobe, I felt like, okay, guys, NBA, I recognize why you're doing this, but let's stop being silly. It's fine. I'm also happy for the big fella that he got his.
Let me see what some names aside from Jordan, Kobe, those guys. Glenn Rice, 1997.
Hey, Glenn was a bad dude back then, man. Like
he killed that game. He destroyed. He had like 9 threes or something.
Yeah. Like I definitely agree with that one.
Mitch Richmond, 1995.
What did he put? Have like 27 or something like that? Was that the game where?
And that was Sacramento King Mitch Richmond going crazy.
I remember that game. I feel like I remember that game.
Who else we got here? Yeah, the same olds. Got a couple. Chris Paul, Westbrook back to back. Wow.
Hey, you know what the funny thing is? Like, okay, so obviously it's an all-star game, it's an exhibition, but there's certain guys, there's a reason. The reason why Kobe won 4 or 5 of them because like he actually played that game like it was serious. Westbrook has that same mentality, man. Like that, I won't lie to you, I like it. I know it's not for everybody. I know some folks get annoyed by it or whatever the case may be. And while I may not want my favorite team paying him $40 million moving forward, I will always love Westbrook's mindset.
We got Tom Chambers, 1987.
That's a surprise, but yes. Hey. At the end of the day, there will always be that one dunk that and I know, and we just gonna keep it pushing.
Oh, Mark Jackson.
Yeah, man. Damn,
that was nasty.
Sorry, Mark.
Every time I see that, I'm like, man, the Sonics got to come back, man. Somehow, some way, they got to get it done. They get the one. They got a different topic for a different day, but they got to move Memphis to the east move New Orleans to the East.
Yep.
Bring Seattle back to the Western Conference. Realign this whole shit. Like Seattle needs. I know they have the Storm, but from a male Sonic team standpoint, I think that'd be so dope, man.
I'm 100% in favor of everything that you just said. I do think the prediction is that the Sonics get a team within the next 5 years. I think I could actually see, and it's funny because there was plenty of talk about contracting teams. I could see them adding 2 more teams going Vegas and Seattle. Like as crazy as it sounds, I could absolutely see it happening because the NFL has already shown that, okay, yes, you can have a professional team, in Las Vegas, and we can stop with the silliness about like, oh, they're going to bet or whatever, like they couldn't do it anyway. Were
you a fan of All-Star Game MVPs, or you feel like it should just be one time? I mean, one guy.
To quote the great Marlo, "Do it or don't. I got places to be." I'm not here for that. Pick one. Let's go.
Oh, we had Stockton Malone. We had Shaq and Tim Duncan, and I think that was the last time we had a
Yeah, Shaq and Bean. What was it? 09 or something like that. I think it was.
Yeah, Shaq and Cole. Wow, 09. Yes. Yep. Wow. Phoenix Suns. Shaq.
There you go. Exactly. It again. Whatever. No, I'm not. I'm never in favor of that. Just make a choice.
Wow, AI won it with Philly and Philly twice. Wow. Okay. Nah, this is dope, man. I think one, obviously we know the All-Star game this year is going to be different. There's no big time weekend and no dunk contest as far as we know now. No dunk contest, no 3-point stuff, no the festivities. It just do the game and get out. So I'm gonna miss all the coverage, all the hoopla behind it. Being in Atlanta this year, I think it was supposed to be in Indianapolis, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
And I think the next couple of years going to be some cold ass cities, Cleveland, Utah, and I'm like, why?
I got to keep it real with you. I don't understand that. I recognize basketball is a game that's played indoors, but ain't nobody trying to travel to Salt Lake. Ain't nobody trying to
not in February. Last year Chicago was brick.
Yeah, I'm good.
Chicago was freezing.
Yeah, and in Toronto a couple years ago. It's like I get what they're trying to do here, but let's stop with the madness.
Right. Because there is a question I'm going to ask you later on some rapid fire stuff.
Okay.
The last time they had a game in Miami, one time in Miami. You mean tell me you can't have an All-Star game only more than one time in Miami?
Hey, do it like how the Super Bowl used to do. Just go bounce between like Miami and San Diego. Like go just over and over and over again. Yep. Back before we try to, make it seem like everything should be equal. I'm kidding, folks.
Before I let you go, again, you can follow Jabari Davis on Twitter at Jabari Davis NBA, co-host of the Dunks and Discourse podcast. Just kind of describe what that podcast is all about before we go into rapid fire.
Man, again, I appreciate this, man. This is always a lot of fun. Dunks and Discourse is exactly this. We talk about basketball, but discourse as well. So if there's something that comes up in the news that is relevant to us, we'll discuss it. But in particular, the discourse side is about Hollywood. We're both, both myself and Josh Everly. Shout out to him. You can follow him on Twitter as well. We're extremely passionate, as you know, about movies and Hollywood and TV shows. Like he's more of a movie buff. I'm more of a TV show guy. Like I see pretty much every TV show that's out there. If it's worth anything, I've probably seen it, and some of them I've seen a dozen times. So we just have a good time talking about those things, and it really ends up being a decent conversation.
And they can find it on Apple, Spotify, or wherever they get their podcast. So Jabari, before I let you go, got a couple of rapid fire questions, All-Star related.
Okay.
For you. Let me see if you get any of these right. If you get me in the ballpark,
okay,
get it right.
I got you.
Some should be obvious, but some going to make you think. All right.
All good.
What player has made the All-Star game the most times?
I feel like it was Kobe, but it could be like Kobe or Dirk. Or it's either Kobe, Dirk, or Kareem. I mean, for obvious reasons. Dirk.
Kareem.
Oh, it was Kareem. Okay. And I was like, they're like right there. They're like 18, 19, 20-ish or something like that. Okay.
Well, Kareem 19. So
there we go. I mean, it was incredible.
Two players have won the All-Star game the most times at 4. Give me one or both.
The MVP or just a game?
The All-Star Game MVP. Who has won it the most? 4 times. There's 2 of them. You give me one of them.
Kobe's one of them for sure, and then the other one is it KD?
No, I don't. Well, you know what? Before I make myself look bad, no. Kevin Durant 1,
Oh, okay.
2. Ooh. Bob Pettit.
Oh, okay. Okay, Bob Pettit.
Bob Pettit and Kobe at 4 apiece.
Right.
Not counting this year coming up. How many times has LeBron James made the All-Star game?
Oh, this is his 18th year, so 18 of them things. Or 17.
16.
Did he not make? Oh, were they doing that stupid stuff at the beginning where he played in the rookie game or something like that?
Yeah, he didn't make it the first year. He made it the second year in Denver.
That's so silly. That's so silly. Like if you got the game, you got the game. And LeBron was great from the LeBron was great from the jump.
Then what? Then did he make it the first year with LA, or was he hurt?
Oh, maybe that's why. Because he was hurt. Because he tore that groin. Maybe that's why he tore the groin on Christmas Day. Okay. Because I was trying to think, like, why wouldn't he have made it? Okay, that makes sense.
Exactly. The other GOAT, Michael Jordan, how many times did he make the All-Star game?
Oh shoot. Either 13 or 14.
14. You got it
14.
right.
You know, like,
when was the last time the All-Star game went to overtime?
oh shit.
I know, my bad.
I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it out there. 2014.
2003.
2003. Okay.
You want to give me a ballpark figure of how many All-Star games have went to overtime?
7.
5.
Okay.
Last one.
All right.
Which city has hosted the All-Star game the most times?
Oh man, it's got to be New York or Chicago. It better not be Boston. I'm gonna go with New York.
Boston was close. Boston 4, Philly 4, LA 4, New York 5.
That makes sense. And you know what's funny is, for the record, when because in the pre-show when you had mentioned that we might start talking about venues, those were the venues that I had, because those are the ones that I've seen the most, probably. Obviously.
And some of the hottest cities, Miami got 1. Phoenix got 3. New Orleans got 3.
Okay.
Houston got 3.
Interesting.
I'm trying to think what city has never hosted. I think Sacramento's never done it.
I can't remember one in Sacramento. Has Memphis?
Memphis, no. That'd be kind of different to do it in Memphis. That'd be kind of cool.
It could be dope in Memphis. It's a little bit cold there, at this time as well, but it could be dope.
Toronto got it. So it's Memphis, Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
We got Miami, Orlando. We got Detroit, Indianapolis.
Well, they were supposed to.
They were supposed to. They got to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
I think Washington got it.
It feels like they've spread it out to most of the other places, but of course there are going to be some. San Antonio, we know, got it. They were like 95, right? I'm trying to think of the smallest. Has Minnesota gotten it? I feel like they would have like forced it upon us.
94.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even fucking Vegas got one.
Yeah, the 07 for sure. Didn't Vegas get more than one? I know they got 07.
They got 07, and that was it.
Okay. And then LA was 09, I think, or like around.
So hopefully Sacramento gets one coming up. Hopefully Memphis. I think Memphis should get a look at some point in time. I don't know why, but
I'm in favor. Okay, I'd rather travel to Memphis than some of those other. I won't even badmouth the other cities, but some of those other cities that we mentioned that are coming up over the next 3 years, I'd rather go to Memphis.
Oh no, Cleveland and Utah. I think Utah got the nod because it'll be 30 years.
Okay,
since the last time they did it in '93. So like a little anniversary.
that makes
So,
sense.
Yeah. But yeah, man, Jabari Davis NBA on Twitter, man. I want to thank you, man, for coming on, talking some all-star moments, some dunk contests, all that good stuff, reminiscing about one of the best weekends in sports throughout the year. I don't know how they're gonna play it out this year. If they have the game, cool, do it, get out, everybody be safe. I know some players are not really feeling the All-Star game idea. If you're a first time All-Star, you might want the game to happen to acknowledge your play. But we'll see if they add little elements to it. I doubt it. If they don't, then fuck it. It is what it is.
Basically.
Jabari Davis, my man, thank you, and I appreciate it.
Truly my pleasure, man. Thanks again for having me.
No problem, man. Thank you.